This is me, somewhere in Yorkshire, England, around 3 a.m. You're probably wondering how I got myself in this situation. Honestly, at the time, I was as well. Let's take it back to the start, will we? Hello. So, I'm 2 days out from Europe's toughest mudder, and I am just sitting here on the floor, trying to pack, get all my things organized for the event. So you're probably wondering, what is Europe's toughest mudder? Basically, it is a tough mudder, like the usual events that they hold, but this one goes on for 12 hours. So it starts at 8 p.m. and it goes on until 8 a.m. and everyone just runs as many laps as you can possibly get in that amount of time through the night. So we're all wearing head torches, and that's why gear is like so important. I'm just like double, triple checking that I have. Yeah, I just have to jump in here. This is kind of hard to watch in retrospect. This poor girl has absolutely no idea what she's in for. She also does not have the right gear, but keep watching and you'll see how it all unfolds. Everything that I haven't forgotten anything. I'm super nervous. I'm very excited though. As you can see, Socks is helping. Are you helping? Yes. So here I have all of my gear laid out for the event. I have a wetsuit, a couple changes of clothes, some dry socks. The most important thing, if you know, you know. I'll do a quick tour of the Airbnb we stayed at. It was super cute. It was on the Broughton Estate, one of the gatekeepers' lodges that you can rent out. They gave us coffee, marmalade, and fresh sourdough upon arrival, which was unreal. The views out the window of the Yorkshire Dales was just absolutely stunning. Next, we went to the shop, loaded up on snacks for the next day, and found these vegan donuts.
The sun is shining, the tunes are playing. How you feeling?
Good.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Let's go.
I do not whine. Kids whine. I help my fellow mothers complete the course. Now get on your feet, start bouncing, make some noise. ETM, are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Oh, the orange smoke. Let's go. Here she comes, finishing the first lap strong.
Oh my god.
Killed it. Feeling good?
Brutal.
Here she goes.
continued on into the night. Some of the easiest obstacles started to get really difficult and the temperature started to drop. The sun began to rise, but it would be a long time before the temperatures followed suit. And things were going okay. And then it all started to take a turn. Hi. So, here we are. We're 4 days post-event. I'm feeling good. As you can see, I completed 5 laps, and spoiler alert, I survived. Things were actually going pretty well for most of the event. And then in the early hours of the morning, the temperatures dropped and it was just absolutely freezing. Being wet and just in and out of water constantly in those temperatures, it kind of set me up for a disaster. I was ill-equipped whenever it came to the gear. So what happened was, towards the end of lap number 5, they opened up the Arctic Enema obstacle, which is exactly as bad as it sounds. You slide into freezing cold water where they just constantly like keep chucking ice into it to keep it freezing. I didn't realize I was cold until, even in that obstacle, it felt fine. I went in, did the obstacle, completed it, jumped out, and basically from then on, just could not regulate my body temperature. You started to see like the steam rising off your body, which was crazy. I finished that lap. I got to Luke, my husband, and I was just shaking violently. It was pretty crazy. My teeth were chattering, and I just told him, I was like, this is the most miserable I've ever been in my entire life. I was out of like dry clothes at that point. I didn't have any dry socks. I didn't have any layers I could put on. So I looked at him and he was hesitant. He was like, your goal is 6 laps. Is this my job to get you to rally, to get this final lap in? So we came up with a game plan. We were staying on the property about a mile away. So we decided we're gonna go to the guest lodge where we're staying, get you cleaned up, get you dry, a change of clothes, if we can find something warm for you to wear, and just see how we go from there. So walk back in the middle of the night. It's kind of a creepy scene. The steam's rising off my body. By the time I get to the guest lodge, just violently shaking, could not warm up at all. So got cleaned up, threw on like loads of layers, and then I just started like sweating like crazy, just a fever. My body was just like, it could not figure out what was happening. So around 5:30, we just decided to call it. I was disappointed for sure. But yeah, we all kind of started dropping like flies around that point. The whole atmosphere of the event around that time was quite morbid. You looked around, everybody was just kind of shell-shocked. It was tough, like just being wet and freezing cold for 8-9 hours. It's really tough mentally. And if I could go back, I would definitely bring more layers, more gear, just be more prepared for the cold, which I thought I was. I thought I had all my bases covered. I was wearing a wetsuit and things. But if I could have just had like one more change of clothes, I really think it would have made all the difference. It's funny though, because my brain is already like starting to do that thing where it's like, oh, it was a great experience, you should do it again. Even though it was such a miserable experience. I'm glad I did it, obviously. I got 25 miles in the end, which 26 if you include the run back to the place where we were staying, which is great, but I had more in me, and it's hard to walk away whenever you're leaving it on the table, especially if you're like competitive like me. But yeah, advice, if you're gonna sign up for one of these events, like bring way more than you think you need. I would have brought twice as much layers for sure. And also I felt bad for my husband because he basically just had to like hang around and sit at a picnic table, and he wasn't moving, but it was still just as cold, so he was all layered up. I think if we could have like rented a tent because we had to fly over, a tent and a sleeping bag for him would have been a game changer. Yeah, I mean, he made some friends like chatting to people and stuff, but like I said, the whole event was like quite serious. And yeah, towards the end, the atmosphere just kind of shifted to everybody just trying to survive it. Loads of injuries out there on the course. I saw people like pulling their hamstrings, lots of ankle rollovers, sprains, things like that. Lots of hypothermia, lots of projectile vomiting. I could hear it all around me at certain points on the course. Luckily my stomach held up, so the fueling was great. I learned a lot. So even though I didn't accomplish the 6 laps like I wanted to, I just took it as, you know what, it's okay. Like, this is a learning experience. I've never done a Tough Mudder before, let alone, you know, a 12-hour obstacle course like this. So I've taken a lot of the good, the bad, and it's a learning experience. If I ever do it again, I have so much more knowledge. And yeah, I'm just gonna take that with me forward. I'm sure at some stage in the future it will serve me. So yeah, thanks for following along. And honestly, I'm just looking forward to like my favorite part about the whole event was just the running part. Whenever like you're under the stars, it was the most beautiful like mountainous scenery. It was quite tough. Like the course itself was quite tough climbing, obstacles aside, but I really enjoyed being out there by myself. So yeah, it just kind of, it brings to light, you know, my own interest in what I loved about the course. So I definitely think, hey, get out of there. I definitely think that the ultra running aspect is where my heart lies at the end of the day. The obstacles were fun. It was fun to mix it up. It was weird how as the night went on, like even the easiest obstacles at the start just became like so difficult. You lose so much strength as the event goes on. So I didn't expect that. Again, a learning curve. So yeah, looking forward to things to come in the near future. I've got a 34-mile run coming up next weekend, which I'm really looking forward to. So keep following along. Thanks for joining me on this experience, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Bye. Hey guys, I'd really appreciate it if you would take a second to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thanks!